Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is more of a chit chat. I wanted to talk about postpartum depression. This is something that I shying from sharing just because I felt, it was a little bit sensitive for me. I did not know much about postpartum depression prior to giving birth. I learned about postpartum depression briefly while pregnant, and then even more after giving birth and realizing that I was experiencing postpartum depression. Postpartum depression is depression after giving birth. It's depression after going through delivery, after having your baby. It's a whole experience of, it's a different kind of depression. It's depression all over, but it's depression that comes with giving birth. So my experience, and before I even talk about my experience, after doing some research on postpartum depression, I found out that postpartum depression is something that affects a lot of mothers, and it's not, I don't believe that a lot of light is shed on postpartum depression. I don't believe that a lot of persons, a lot of mothers are familiar with postpartum depression, and not all mothers go through postpartum depression, but for the most part, for those who go through postpartum depression, I can tell you now, it's not something that is nice. It's not something that I would wish on anyone. I would not wish postpartum depression on anyone, not even my worst enemy. I would not wish postpartum depression on. Reason being, I went through it, and I don't believe that I was at the craziest stage of postpartum depression. Whatever I felt, if there are persons who go through worse than what I go through, okay? So after giving birth at the hospital, they have persons come to you. I stayed in the hospital for about 3 nights and 4 days. And during that time, of course, they're checking on you, and they're checking on the baby, or they're checking to make sure that everything's okay, observation and everything. That's why they keep me, or keep mothers. I think that's the standard period that mothers are supposed to be expected to stay in the hospital after giving birth. So they tell you about postpartum depression in the hospital, and they tell you, like, if you start feeling any of these blues, or you should advise them, let them know, so you can come in, or you can join some of their focus groups that they have, yada yada yada. But me, I didn't know what it was, so I was like, okay, yeah, putting it aside. After coming home from the hospital, I started to feel the postpartum blues coming on after coming home from the hospital. Now, most of my family is in Jamaica. It's myself and my husband here. Other of my family is in Florida. I didn't have like a lot of family around me to, like, to come together and to give me a hand. So it was mostly me and my husband, and we were alternating, and we were doing whatever, and my husband has been very helpful. Now I started to feel postpartum depression like maybe a week or two after giving birth, coming out of the hospital and everything. I wasn't feeling it in the hospital. It's after I came out of the hospital that I started to feel it. Also, before going into the detail of postpartum depression, a week after giving birth, I went back into the hospital for high blood pressure. To have high blood pressure, was home feeling woozy. I just felt out of it, lightheaded, and I was just feeling out of it, and I knew something was wrong. So I decided to go to the ER, and that's when I went to the ER. That's when I found out that I had high blood pressure. I had to be readmitted into the hospital a week after giving birth, and my baby couldn't come. So that's another thing, all of those stuff that come with giving birth. Like a mom, like women, oh my god, let me tell you something, we go through a lot, especially if we give birth. Again, not many women will go through what I went through. Some went through what I went through, or even worse, some go through nothing at all. After coming out of the hospital a second time, I'm home, and this is when I started to feel the blues of postpartum depression. So let me tell you, it affected me. So I would be at home, and I had baby in the winter. Winter comes, nighttime comes early in the winter, so it gets really dark. So a simple thing as the weather, I would not know that the weather would affect me in such a way. Unbelievable. When it snows, I would get scared. I would feel like just a little fear inside. I would get anxiety. I would get, anxious. So it's postpartum depression with anxiety. Those are some of the side effects or effects of postpartum depression. I will get anxiety when it's getting dark. I get anxiety. Sometimes I'm inside and I feel like the roof is just coming together on me, and I would just get really anxious. Like, you know, I wear wigs. When I put my wigs on, it's like my head is just like, and I just want to take the wig and just fling it off. I would feel like I would get really anxious inside. So that's like, anxiety would take me over like a lot. Like, every little thing I would get jittery over. Like, if I'm watching, I couldn't watch movies no more with shooting and stuff like that. I couldn't watch anything that's sad. I couldn't watch anything that would make that I would see a person crying or see a person feeling sad, because automatically I would start feeling like that. Like, I would find myself at times just staring out of space, just sitting down and just staring, and my husband would say to me like, "Are you okay?" And then I would be like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But then deep down I would just feel so empty, you know, inside. When I realized that I had it, I spoke to my GYN, and then she spoke, you know, she told me about her experience with it. She had it briefly. She like would tell me stuff that I could do, like get out of the house, you know, and do stuff. But then even when I'm driving, I get nervous. I get scared driving too. So like, getting out of the house was even just not another option. And it was cold. I had baby in the winter time, so it was cold, and I didn't want to take him outside in the cold. I will also talk to my cousin. My cousin is also a nurse. Talked to her a lot, and she gave me a lot of insights. Tamara, thank you, cousin, for being there. She helped me a lot. Like, I would message her and call her like so often, like, what should I do, like, what is this, like, I feel like this, and she would give me like information as to what I could do. Like, she would tell me about her experience, how it affected her as well. But again, it all depends on your surrounding. Like, if you have a lot of people around you, it makes it a lot easier for you to go through. And if you can identify that it's postpartum depression that you're going through, it also, I think, makes it a little easier for you to go through. Because once I identified that I was experiencing the postpartum blues, I started to do my own research, started to read about other people's experiences, and I started to read about what you can do to, you know, to help prevent the way you feel. Also, a lot of persons would ask me, so why don't you tell your doctor, why don't you go to the hospital and let them know? Why I didn't do that? Even though it's postpartum depression, it's depression all over. And I didn't want to go to the hospital and let them know that, oh, I'm having postpartum depression, for them to provide no medication for me, because side effects of postpartum depression, in itself, is depression pills varies. And one of the major side effects of depression is suicide. And I was scared of what me going on medication would do to me. That's a whole different thing. So that's one of my reasons why I didn't get medical assistance for my postpartum depression, because it was just so scary. What I tried to do is to try to make sure that my environment was healthy, in the sense that I was enjoying my environment, like me and my baby home was okay. You just want to be in a peace and quiet place just to get through the whole depression thing. Overall, having a baby is it's a nice journey. And again, like I said, not everyone goes through what I went through. It does not affect everyone like it affected me. Some persons experience is worse. Also, one of the reasons why they told me that persons go through postpartum depression, they said that the hormones in your body has a lot to do with postpartum depression, and I have a lot of those, honey. Previous history of PCOS, so I want to believe that all of those stuff is intertwined into your whole body, into your whole mental state. So everything that you do affects you some way or another. At the hospital, they told me, when they were talking to me about it, they told me like some of the things that they told me that a mother who has postpartum depression can experience is even to harm the child. They say some persons choke the child, some persons go as far as they get so like anxiety take them over that they would hold the child and shake the child. Like, that's how crazy it affects some persons, and that's how bad it is for some persons. So I'm really thankful that it did not affect me to that extent. Also, I find that after a while, as you come out of the postpartum stage, it kind of takes its time, and it gradually leaves you. Like when I realized that it started to leave me was probably when I was 4 months, 3 to 4 months more of, so 4 months going into 5 months. Like it would come on like when I'm near to get my period. That's the time when it will come up, when I would start to feel it more, you know. So it was gradually going, I still get a little tweak of it now that I'm 7 months going into 8, but it's not as severe as I was feeling it before. So I'm thankful for that. Like, from giving birth to now, it's been a lot of experience for me. Good with the bad, with the, you know, eye-opening ones. I've learned a lot since having my son, and I'm thankful every day. He is the most adorable little thing, and I would not change anything that I went through for anything, because all those experiences that I experienced was for a reason. I thank God that he's healthy and I'm healthy and I'm getting better. And big thanks to everyone that knew that I had this issue, that I shared it with, that reached out and that helped in every little way. My family members, my friends, everyone, I thank you all for, you know, just helping me in whatever little way that you did, because it really helped. I can't thank my cousin Tamara enough, because she has hands-on experience with babies and and mothers, so she had more insight, you know. Also my mom, oh my god, my mom is in Jamaica and we talk like every day so often. I'm thankful nonetheless. I'm so thankful. But postpartum depression is something that is real, and I don't believe it gets a lot of attention like I think it should. I recently found this online, this book where this mother, she wrote a book on it, and I was like, this is probably something that I should do, right? Because to share just my experience, or to talk about it on different platforms, especially just to let people be aware of it, because it's been an experience for me. And if you have gone through this and if you want to share, talk to me, you know. I can give some insight on it based on what I've went through. You know, you can share with me how it affected you if you have gone through it, and if you have never gone through it as well, I'm glad that you didn't, and I wouldn't want you to. Like, my whole experience for pregnancy and after pregnancy and what I've gone through with the postpartum depression has taught me a lot, and I have a different view on certain things now, and I'm glad for all the experiences that giving birth, having a child has led me to. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you again to everyone who have been there with me, you know, through everything that I've gone through. All my family, all my friends, and even you, my YouTubers. Coming on YouTube was a little bit of therapy for me, so I thank you guys for just whatever support that you support by watching, or just to click on that video. I thank you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.